Welcome to this week's In Science video, and again, this is just going to be the background information you're going to need in order to be successful this week. You don't necessarily have to watch this video, but it's just going to go through all the requirements. So I haven't gotten a lot of questions from you, so I'm hoping the video last week helped you move through everything, and so you were able to finish up everything you were able to. Before we start, I thought I'd give you a little update on what's been happening at the middle school. So I was able to get in last week to the middle school, and this is what I saw outside my window. So my window would be way over here. They've already taken out the large gym. The large gym does not exist anymore. They've taken out the wall for the commons. And remember here, you had the stairs that went up, and then you walked into, the commons from here. That's all gone. And so they're getting ready to pour the foundations. In fact, I think the foundations are already poured. And I haven't been in there most of last week. I think the last time I was into the middle school was on the 6th, and I haven't been back yet. I've been at home. The only time I get out of my house is when I take my dog for a walk. So we're being very cautious. So here's just another view, a different angle. Golly, I just noticed they took out the trees here in the middle too. So there was trees in here they took out, and there's this tree they took out as well. So eventually, if I go back to this page, this is, Miss Ayler's room. Those rooms will still have a view, but these rooms will not. In fact, there's going to be a hallway in here, and there's going to be a new set of rooms for first floor. There's going to be no floor above it. It's just one-story addition that they're adding here. And I believe this is going to be 5 new classrooms, and that's supposedly going to be just about ready for the beginning of the new school year. From what I was told, they weren't going to quite have them finished off because with all the construction, they didn't want to put in all the new carpeting and the final finishes just to have them have to be replaced, because the following summer is going to be the big summer where they're going to be tearing out all the insides of the first floor and the third floor. So I thought I'd just give you a quick preview on what's happening at the middle school. So let's start talking about this week in science. So the first thing we're going to be finishing up this week in science is the minerals check for understanding. So if you can look at it here, but it was also on last week's post because I posted 6 days. I'm not going to post all the rock stuff because the rock stuff goes multiple weeks. And one of the things I learned was that some people skipped over things that they should have done last week, and they went right to the Ed puzzle. And as a result, they didn't score as well in the Ed puzzle. So one of the things I did change this to remote learning. Originally, I called it distance learning, but the district is calling it remote learning. It's not necessarily all online learning. It's not necessarily the same as an online course, because usually if you take an online course, it's one program and one thing that you work through. So this is definitely not online. So don't get confused between the two. And we are switching over the rocks. Now, some of you did a nice job of contacting me. If you want me to email you right away, here are my office hours. It doesn't mean I'm not going to reply or email you back during this times other than this time. So, I think I got an email from someone on Thursday. It was after office hours. I still responded. If I'm checking my email, just like always, I will respond to you. This is a great time if you ever want to do a video conference. I am going to do some math whole class meetings that are going to go through and explain some stuff. And I may offer that from time to time in science. If you do want to do a video conference, all I ask is that you have your parents with you, and that way I can meet with your parents and you at the same time. Unless we have a full class and there's multiple students there, then it's not necessary. So the same thing with distance learning is I ask that you do your best. And I know one of the things the district talked about how what we're doing right now is optional. It's not necessarily optional in a sense that if you just don't want to do it, don't do it. But the district does understand that some people, if you're going to get sick, don't worry about it if you can't get your work done that week or 2 weeks, however long you're sick. If you're in a situation where a family member is sick and you're helping take care of them, I don't want you to have to choose between doing the science and helping your parents or, helping with other responsibilities that you have. But I don't think the online part was ever meant to be, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. So I would encourage you to do it. Just like in the classroom, I can't force you to do anything, but I'm hoping that you'll understand that the more you learn, the better off you're going to be at the high school. So we did make some modifications here. I added a science joke of the week. Here's the science cartoon of the week. And here's a video on a neat science experiment you can actually do at home. So I can't always guarantee that the science experiment of the week will be something you can do at home. Sometimes we're going to tell you don't do these at home, but we'll see. So the answer to this is at the end, but I'm going to try not to show you that in the video so that way you can look it up yourself. What do scientists use to freshen their breath? So this week, obviously, you already had this posted. You're going to take the minerals check for understanding. Again, you can use your notes. You can the fill in the blank notes that you finished. If you want to go back and open up the readings, the idea is that you're checking all of your questions to get them right. What I'm hoping that you don't do is just click, 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 click to get through this as fast as you can. And then if you don't do well, oh, well, I did it. Here's some feedback for you, and it is set for multiple retakes. So if you do want to retake it, you can. And I'm encouraging you to retake it so that you score well. So if you get between a 29 and a 26, it's a great job, and you can read this. But I am asking that you look up the answers and you do well, and you do this yourself. And obviously, you're very familiar with the engagement checks. It's just a quick survey to see that you did your science for the week. Now, after Monday, I'm no longer going to be accepting any mineral assignments. So anything from the week of the 6th through the 9th and this, after Monday, I'm not going to go back and I'm not going to keep checking the ed puzzles to check it off. Now, you might say, well, nothing's being graded. Well, think, in school, most things aren't graded anyway. The only things we actually graded were the tests, and that determined your quarter grade. Everything else just went in Infinite Campus. Are we putting stuff in Infinite Campus? Not now, but I am keeping track of what you're doing, what you're not doing. So if your parents ask, or if Mr. Schwartz says, hey, contact parents if kids aren't being engaged, I can email your parents and say, hey, your child hasn't done any of these assignments. So I do have my spreadsheets here, and I am keeping track of who's doing what. Now, if something does happen that you can't do it for some reason, you're getting sick, something's going on, make sure you email me and email your teachers. Let us know what's going on so we can make a note of that. So after Monday, I'm not going to be going back to look at anything anymore. So it's important that you stay current. Now, if you want to do all of your work in a couple days, I'm okay with that. If you want to just work on science every other day, I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay is if you wait for 2-3 weeks and then you try and do 3 weeks worth of stuff in 1 week, it's going to be too hard for me to keep track of over 100 students and constantly go back to all these different assignments. So we're going to start rocks then on Tuesday. And just like before, if I open this up, well, you can see it right here. It's just a rock reading. There's going to be learn more activities in there. I know I had a couple of people ask, where are these? This isn't hyperlinked. You're right, it's not hyperlinked. The learn more activities are in the readings. And the expectation is that you go through those learn more activities. The read, if I do open this up, to read the readings is not going to take you very long. You can see the readings is only 4 pages long. And here's one of those learn more activities. So how many different uses of rocks can you think of? And then uses of rocks video. So the idea behind this is we're trying to create 20 minutes worth of material a day. To read 2 pages, read pages 1 and 2, is only going to take you about 7-8 minutes. So, and that's all there is to do today, except the engagement check, and that takes about 30 seconds to do. So the idea is that by going through the learn more activities, watching those videos, that will give you your 20 minutes of science for this day. And on day 2 of this unit, which is on Wednesday, you're reading pages 3 and 4. Again, I don't think it's going to take you 20 minutes to read pages 3 and 4, but if all of a sudden you do the learning more activities as well, now that's going to be the 20 minutes. Now, normally if we were doing this in class, this would take just 1 day. I'd give you 1 day to read it. We probably have something else. 1 day to read it, answer some questions, and I'd probably have a video or 2 for you to watch because it's not going to take you 40 minutes to read 4 pages. So not only that, I broke it up into 2. So you've got 20 minutes. You just have to read 2 pages. So here's the notes. So you did some mineral notes, and I did check those off for those of you who did it, and I'll check them off again. For the minerals unit, I'll check them off right here at the end of Monday. So I'll probably actually do it Tuesday morning to see who's done it. And same thing, you watch the igneous rocks, and it's probably about a 13-minute video, and then you fill in the notes. And the notes are going to be for all the rocks. So you're going to do it 3 or 4 times. So you don't have to fill in all the notes. You're just going to fill them in igneous rocks, if that makes sense. You have another Edpuzzle, so you guys did a great job with the Edpuzzles. I did hear from at least one person that said they were having trouble getting into the Edpuzzle. If you're ever having trouble getting into the Edpuzzle, what I would suggest is type in edpuzzle.com, log in using your Google account, and you should be able to find the assignment. So if I'm going to have this linked within Google Classroom, but if for some reason that's not working, one, I'd always restart your computer and try, because it should work. It has all year. But you may want to go back into edpuzzle.com and find the assignment directly. The other possibility is if it's getting overwhelmed, just like any internet site. I know our internet went down, I don't know, it was like one of these nights this last week, it went down for about an hour. Or a site might go down. So you might have to try the Edpuzzle, and if it's not working, try it again 20 minutes later, try it an hour later, try it the next day. Just don't wait until the very end to do everything, because then it'll be hard to get everything done in one day. Now, I'm also assigning an IXL. And so make sure you click on this link. This is actually a 6th grade skill. So don't just go into the 8th grade, click on Z1, which I've had people do in the past. You actually need to click on this link to take you there. And this right here will help you with it. Now, if you get one of these wrong, this pops up as well, because in IXL, if you get it wrong, it'll tell you what you did wrong so you don't do it again. And so I've been through these. You just have to read carefully. But this Edpuzzle, I think the video is only about 2 minutes long. Again, with Edpuzzles, make sure you listen to the Edpuzzle. Rewind the Edpuzzles if you need to. I had some people score, I think the last one was out of 6. I had one person score 1 out of 6. How do you score 1 out of 6? Especially if you've had all this background information on igneous rocks. You should be able to score, in this case, an 8 out of 8. But again, I'm having people just not really listen to the video. They have it play, they click, they have it play, they click, they have it play. And keep in mind, I am not resetting these Edpuzzles. There will be no reset. So this is really testing you to see if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. So we got to get rid of that click, click, click mentality where we can click as fast as we can. And then if we don't do well, I'll just do it again. It's not good learning, especially for remote learning. So then one of the things we added, because this is on Friday, is there's a weekly check-in, science check-in form. Now, you've done it last week for minerals, but we actually are going to change it up a little bit. It's going to have a spot for your name here. Let me go into my edit view. And it's going to have a spot for your names, but one of the things we're going to ask you for is not only the rate science, but what assignments did you complete? And this will be a checklist. Did you complete all these? And if not, if you get to this and say, well, I don't remember doing this, you can always go back and double check. So this is not only, it's a reminder, it's good for us as teachers so we can see what you did, but it's also a reminder for you. It's a checklist to say, okay, if I didn't get all this, maybe I need to back out of this spreadsheet and go back and finish it. And then I want to learn what skills you picked up and what skills you use, and do you have any questions or concerns? The last thing I want you to do is not do your science because you don't know how to do your science, or you didn't know how to do it, and that's the reason why you didn't do it, because you had a question. Email me. I've been having lots of students email me questions, and I'm getting back to you. I've had parents email me, and I'm getting back to you as fast as I can. So if you have any questions, concerns about science, make sure you let me know. Again, these additional resources, these are optional. A lot of these videos are the ones that you find in the readings, so you don't necessarily have to watch them. Some of them are new. And these quizzes, they're not assignments. I know they're going to appear as if they're assignments. And all these are due May 6th, I think I set them for. They're just optional for you. You don't have to do them, but if you're looking for additional resources, you can do that. Now, one of the things I am changing is the deadline for turning in work with this from this week is midnight on Sunday the 19th. So you're going to have from the 13th to the 17th, that's where the assignments are. And then you're going to have 2 additional days. And I'm going to post this on a Friday. So you have a Saturday, Sunday if you want to start early and you want to get started. Then you have the whole week. And then you have the Saturday and Sunday. Again, I don't care if you want to do all of your science in 3 days, or if you just want to work on it every other day. As long as you're getting the stuff in, I'm fine with that. If Mr. Schwartz emails me and says, hey, so-and-so's, they don't seem to be doing their work every day, I can always email them back and say, yeah, that's true, but they are getting all their assignments in because I am tracking it. So make sure you're doing your work, make sure you're getting stuff in, and make sure you're asking questions if you have any. Thanks and have a good week.